All right. There we go. I've been moving my apartment, rearranging. I haven't really had my Steam Deck hooked up like I normally do. What I play most of my games on these days. Steam Deck or Xbox for some games. Diablo 4 not running too good on the Steam Deck lately, so but Xbox runs great. And consequently, I have been out of the loop in terms of Into the Grid. A little over a week ago, they put out a posting on the discussion page for Into the Grid on Steam with a link to kind of a roadmap. So I'm going to look at that a little bit. I've got 34 hours in Into the Grid. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Um, Definitely could see myself foregoing some responsibilities and playing more. It's an absolutely um, just, it's something special, I think. It's kind of interesting. So, upcoming features. Now, some of this we kind of already know because um, people from the developers have tweeted stuff or they've said stuff on the Steam forums. Or some stuff was just listed out prior to the actual demo, or like when the demo came out. Like they've got a little screen like, "Hey, this is coming. This is coming." So let's go through a couple of them. VFX overhaul. I know they plan to redo the backgrounds of the combat screens, because the enemies are 3D models and the backgrounds are 2D. I think the backgrounds are really nice, but I understand that it probably would mesh a bit better visually if there was a little bit more consistency in that, because the enemies do stand out and some of the backgrounds and some of the enemy models just don't really feel good. So I understand that. The card artwork and other stuff I adore. Do not want it to change. Very gorgeous. Current visual effects will be reworked. A lot more will be added. Different sets of effects. Sometimes even multiple effects. Oh, multiple effects for the same card to represent their different states. Conditional, triggering or not triggering, etc. That's fantastic. I love stuff like that. Right. Additional content. We already know there's some stuff coming up. Continuously add new combat. This content may include, but not limited to, enemy models, abilities, commands, node types, status effects. So just everything that's already in there. So we don't have missions, and it's been mentioned before, but it's really just been like, oh, there's gonna be in-run missions, and that's pretty much all that we know about it. Lore snippets, love it. NPCs, okay. I'm curious as to how that's gonna actually manifest in the game, just with the structure and um, all that. I would assume that's probably gonna be tied into the events, but I don't know. Who knows? More items, that's great. The items are super interesting, and yeah, surface in run shop. Okay, because we've got, this is good, because I was thinking there needs to be a traditional shop, because the way it works now is there are different nodes that you can use to get different types of cards or glitches or protocols, which are a type of card, but for some reason they're like treated differently. Like, I don't think a protocol can ever be an after combat reward. It seems like it has to come from those nodes, which is a little weird. But if they're balanced around that, like that's actually taken into account when designing them, and they're maybe a little bit stronger and stuff like that, like maybe they can have that kind of rare pathway towards them. But I always thought, and there is a node that you can spend a currency on, but it's not a shop, if that makes sense. The demo includes different node types with specific actions that allow the player to obtain new cards, glitches, and items. Sometimes in exchange for resources, shards or hash keys, sometimes for free. Yeah. It's a kind of a variety. There's one node that's shards for whatever you want to get, and there's a couple that are more specific. You don't have a choice of getting like whatever you want, but they're free. So it's interesting. This game has so many options when you're going through a run. The Surface Shop is intended to be an interface where the player can access a variety of content that can be purchased with the in-game currency to be used during that specific run. Card, 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 card. Glitches, hash keys. God, look at all those shards. Lorem ipsum. Gotta love it. Remember, Stray, if you're leaving, I'm gone for good. Plugging out my VPN. Alright, good. This will not replace all the current reward-based nodes. That's good. It definitely needs to complement them. The main issue with the game right now, as the demo stands, and there was actually an update when I opened up Steam earlier. I don't know if anything. It was a small update. I don't know what's changed. I didn't see like an update note on Steam, so I don't know. But as it stands now, the issue is the enemies ramp up in ability and what they can do during combat, and just pure strength. Pretty quickly with regards to how slow the runner can upgrade. Um, Probably a lot of different reasons. You know, it's it's tough. It gets really dicey sometimes, and part of that is because there are attacks the enemies can do that will just you can't have you don't have a defense. Statuses, you have no way to cleanse statuses from you or just flat out prevent statuses. So that's really sick. And then the final boss of the demo is just super vicious, right? Like, it focuses around inserting cards into your deck and then dealing damage based on the amount of those cards in your deck. To get them out, you have to play them, and they deal damage to you anyway. So, I don't know, it's tough. I have not had a lot of success with the demo, with the grind grid. But, yeah, the interface will include a shopkeeper NPC that will also work as an interactive way of introducing more details about the game universe. There were different instances of the Surface Shop with different content. The player may or may not be able to control which instance of the shop is accessed each time. Okay. A little cryptic. In-run events. This is what I'm most excited for. I'm really, really looking at in-run events. I wonder when early access is planned. I feel like Q1 2025 was a rough date, maybe mentioned at some point, but I don't know. Some nodes will trigger narrative events. Reminiscence. Oh! The mother has been mentioned. The holy slay the spire. 300 hours on Steam. Probably, I don't even know if you can check your playtime on the Switch, but let me tell you, 300 hours, way more than that on the Switch. Guaranteed. Our take includes some core differences. They are more immersive, providing hints of world building. I don't know how I feel about that. As long as it's not, oh, I got an event node. Let me go there, and all you get is some story, meta story stuff, world building. As long as that is tied into events and some sort of like outcome, and like that. Because if you get it into pure story stuff, you're gonna be like, well, all right, that's cool and all, but I'm trying to win this run, so wish something else had pop up. The outcomes of the choices may or may not be known beforehand. All right. The same event may show different choices in different runs. Okay. I love that. The same choice may have different outcomes in different runs. That might be on the too much randomness side of things. I don't know. Knowing about the game universe may help the player to make the right choice. I like that. I think that's cool. You know, get an event that mentions different factions, right? And you can kind of intuit how the different choices might play out because you have an idea of the characters involved or who they belong to. The moment you enter this node, your console pings to let you know someone else is here. It's not a corporate security employee or anyone like that, though. It's another runner, a stray dog. Right. So that's the first few things. Enemy brain system, map UI, and functional design. All right, I want to play though. That all sounds great. That all sounds great. Looking forward to it. Oh, and controller support was on that roadmap, so I can Steam Deck it the old school way if I want to. Let's get you guys some audio real quick. Whoop. All right. Oh, this is I was in the middle of one. Let's just start over. Bandit. Let's go. Grind it. Jack in. All right, boys. Let's jack in. Let's jack in together. Let's keep our eyes on our buddies. I got your back. You got my back. But we're all jacking in. It's the grid. All right. So One of the things that it mentioned as well was that they want to redesign the UI and basically all that was explicitly mentioned really was breaking up this sidebar style UI and kind of spreading it around the interface so that it's maybe more of like a, you know, some sort of like visual interface or, you know, something that's a little bit more high-tech looking than this. Although I like this. So let's go through this. So the way the game works is you've got all of these little diamonds. Each one is a node, and you have access to any, or each one's a node, and you got clusters of nodes. So this is one cluster right here. And we've got these little gates that we have to progress through to unlock more clusters of nodes. Each cluster has a watcher, and as you can see, if we hover over here, it says no watcher. Once we get some of these open, there will be different watchers. And basically, what's going to happen is the watcher is going to kind of modify how you approach the clusters. So, I got a lot of thoughts on watchers and the trace level. So when you defy a watcher's rules, basically, for that cluster, you'll gain a trace level. And the more trace level you get, the deadlier the enemies become. Which is kind of a problem because there's already an issue of enemies being a little overpowered compared to the runner, the player. So, if we hover over these, we got 3 little pips that have nothing on them. We also have another one over here that's got nothing, but if we hover over the ones with the exclamation marks, we see a bonus that the enemies will get if you get that amount of trace. You also have commands up here. Repo, which is your deck, and glitches, which are like, you know, items from Slay the Spire or trinkets from Isaac and stuff like that. We go up here to commands. We're going to have 3 rows of commands, some of them locked. I don't think you can actually unlock them. I think that's just like a, you know, more common type of thing. And if you hover over them, each one is going to show you what they do. Gain 1 grit. Every time you play a card this turn, you generate 1 Vim. Roar, gain 1 Feral. And then Scout, draw 1 cards. So these all cost 4 Vim. These cost variable amounts, anywhere from 8, 7, 11, 9, 10. And then the third row here is the 17 Vim, which is like the high-end abilities. I always keep Energize. I love it. The other one is Echo. The next non-protocol card you play this turn will be played twice. It's not bad. It has its place, but I feel Energize is just like straightforward, good for everyone. Whereas Echo is something that you will, you know, you'll kind of build into. You'll get to a point where you go, okay, this is what I need now, right? And you'll kind of center it around, especially when you get like a really high damage card and stuff like that. So these ones, honestly, I haven't experimented too much with some of them. I just go with Optimize. This turn, a random 1-cost card in your hand costs 0 until played. I love it. But this one is really good. You get to grab a card from your deck and plop it right in your hand. That's not bad. This one, choose up to 2 cards from your recycler, your discard, and place them in your hand. That's good too. That's really good. But I'm kind of an old school guy. You know, I like to go like that. This one, I start off with Scout, but I will very quickly change it to Roar or Dare, depending. Farm, I think, is just flat out not good. You probably really have to get a lot of low-cost generator cards so you can really maximize that, because you have to spend 4 Vim to play it. So you have to spend 4 Vim, and then you have to also play 4 cards to reach that, to get that Vim back, and then that's not a, you know, it's not a a return, that's, you're breaking even. So that's just me though. I definitely need to play around more, especially with the middle row, but that's where we're at. So commands you can use in combat in addition to the cards in your repo, and you start off with a, kind of a sample deck. And here you see on the left-hand side you will get a breakdown. 5 out of the 10 cards in your deck are hacks, which are attacks. 4 are shells, and 1 is a generator, which is kind of like a spell. Initially I thought that they were all gonna be like giving you Vim and stuff, but there's some that don't really focus on that and they kind of like are spells. So it's pretty cool, pretty interesting, pretty simple. I love this breakdown right here built in. Protocol are like enchantments or powers in Slay the Spire. Corrupted cards would be negative cards, like think cursed cards in Slay the Spire, right? Or like burn and some of the conditional cards, stuff like that. And then down here, shards are like the general currency that you'll use to purchase items. Hash keys are another form of currency that are a little bit more fluid. You'll kind of want to build up shards to get a lot of them so you can spend them on stuff. The hash keys you can be a little bit liberal with spending, and there's a lot of cool uses for that. And then inventory is right down here, these 4 guys. And then right beneath me is going to be the runner integrity. So 4 inventory slots, runner integrity right there. Yeah, and so the opening cluster, you've got nothing on the Watcher. We've got 5 nodes here. 1's red. The red nodes have enemies on them that you will basically want to kind of watch out for. If you go there, you will have to do a battle, and then you can unlock whatever the node is underneath it. So if you hover down here, there's a little like upper arrow. It'll bring up this little drawer with all of the nodes you can encounter, and they kind of give you a little cheat sheet on what each of them does. So libraries and intel, and we got setups in this initial cluster. Library is shards. Intel helps you explore and scout probe. Setup buffs you for battle, and setup deployer. So let's hover over these guys, or click them, I mean. Library node. So most nodes are going to have 3 options that are going to be the same type of action. Extract, exploit, or rehash. Rehash is going to cost you the hash keys that you accumulate. Extract and exploit are going to be free actions, but you have to pick one. And in some cases, the Watcher might give you a trace level increase if you do one of them. So you can extract the library and it'll give you 50 shards, or you can exploit the library and you'll get no shards now, but all the other libraries on the grid will go up by 20%. I usually just start off with a few library exploits, get that increase the value of all the other libraries on there. Sometimes I'll try and leave those because these are free, and then when I get to a cluster that's got a Watcher that will give me more trace level for extracting, I can exploit those and then come back up for these free ones, but that's a lot of work. And one of these gates, if you click on the gate, it's going to tell you how to open it. This one, you have to either just gain a trace, which is an option for all gates, or pay a hash key, which isn't too bad, but hash keys have so many uses, I don't like to do that. If I go this one, defeating all sentinels in either adjacent cluster. So this is a sentinel, so if I beat that guy, this guy is open. This one here, disable this bouncer, which is the gate. I call them gates, but they're bouncers. I mean, I think these are gates, and then like when you defeat the bouncer on it, it's still a gate, I think. But I don't call them a bouncer, I just call them gates. by using all nodes in either adjacent cluster. So to open this one, we would have to use all of the nodes in here, which means we're going to have to fight him. It also means that it makes it a little bit trickier if you want to leave the library ones here for free high-value nodes later on. But what are you going to do, right? Choices. That's what this game is about. That's why I love it so much. Intel. We can extract it to give us some shards, or we can exploit it to reveal a connected cluster, or a rehash. If we spend a hash key, we can get a scout probe. Scout probe's an item that basically does this exploit ability, but anywhere. So you can do it later on. You get to hold on to it and do it on any cluster that you have access to an adjacent cluster in. So that's nice. This one, setup, extract 50 shards. Exploit, +4 grit in this cluster, which means when I go, if I chose this, I exploit this node, when I go into the battle with the enemy here, I'm going to have, my defense cards are going to be buffed. And rehash, you get a setup deployer, which will give you this exploit ability on any cluster. This is a good card. This is a good item. I really like them. I think these are fantastic. One of the reasons, there's two reasons. One, you get to really choose when to use it, and while there will be instances where you'll find a setup node that you'll want to exploit, because it's a free action, in this opening cluster, I mean, I've got one battle, and it's the first battle, so obviously it's not going to be too difficult, right? So, I almost will never exploit this. I'm going to kill him, and then I'm going to grab the setup deployer from here. That way, when I get to a cluster that's got 4 or 5 battles, I can knock that down. I can get a bonus. Another cool thing is that the item version of this is not just this ability. You get to pick out of 3 abilities. You starting with extra grit, extra feral, which is additional damage, or Vim, which is the resource that lets you do the commands that we're going through. So this one, I'm just gonna grab some shards. Let's go ahead and let's attack this enemy. The enemies are called sentinels or ice. I think ice is a more general term for a lot of for any type of like negative thing, because like the icebreaker is an item that lets you get rid of an enemy or get rid of a gate or a watcher, right? Is that what it is? I don't remember. Let's go. So beta gravitons who are fighting, that's their health right here. We've got a passive ability. Every time this ice deals damage, it inflicts 1 debilitated, which as you can see right next to it is a decreases my outgoing damage by 30%. Stacks in duration, not intensity. And it's conditional. It's only going to happen if he actually hits me. So that's every time he attacks. Now, up here is going to be what he's going to do next turn. Incoming subroutines. He's going to put a 25-point shield on him, basically. And then he's going to inflict 1 tagged on me. And tagged is a... tagged increases the cost. It makes my defense cards more expensive. So he's not going to attack me next turn, so this isn't going to do anything right now. And I've got, this is my hand. That right there is the cost. You have 3 clock. That can temporarily change, but it won't actually increase in a permanent way. So, and then right here, 0 Vim. Vim is what we need to play these. So let's do Code Slash. Code Slash is going to be 40 damage right there. Now we have enough Vim to draw another card if we want. And I can do that. Not another attack, but, you know, you win some, you lose some. I'll play this generator card, which is going to give me 2 Vim. So I go back up to 2. And then we'll play this. Even though I don't need the shield, the it will give me 1 Vim. We've got a little number, little sequence of pips right on the lower left of the cards. That's how much Vim the card gives you. So there's kind of a lot going on. You'll find cards that you might pick because you're like, well, it's not like you get a after a battle you get a choice of 1 of 3 cards. You might go, well, this isn't the best card here, but this is like a 4 Vim card for 1 clock, and that's gonna really ramp up, you know, how many commands I can do and how frequently. So just a lot of choices. The game has a lot of choices. Let's go ahead and do Code Slash. So now next turn he's going to deal 25 damage to me. And because of the tagged, as you can see right here, this is going to be where all of my statuses are. It's going to cost 2 clock to play any defense card instead of the 1 it normally would be. So I could play the Code Slash, deal a little bit more damage to him. Actually, I should have thought this through, but I mean, I don't think things through. I just do it. That's my life. My whole life is like. I mean, it doesn't actually make a difference really, because I could do this, and then I would go up to 7. That would give me a chance to optimize, but that would just make the other one free. That's not gonna do anything as far as preventing taking damage, which I think is very important, because gaining life back, health back, not an easy task. Not an easy task at all. So I could just take the 25, and he would go down to 65? Is that what he'd be at? 40? Yeah. Let's just do that. Boom, boom, end turn. 65. Alright, I'm at 25. I took 25. Now I'm muzzled, which means attack cards cost 1 extra, and I'm debilitated. So there's not going to be much damage coming out anyway. So they went from 20 to 14. 14. So let's go ahead, let's defend. Let's defend. Let's, this one. I still have 1 clock, but no cards. I don't want to draw a card. No, I don't want to draw a card. I won't be able to play an attack anyway with 1 clock. Boom, boom. Alright, he's not attacking next turn. So he's at 25. There's not going to be... If I click here, I can see what's left in my deck before it reshuffles. I'm only at 9 Vim. So even if I were to draw a card, it would cost Vim, so I would go down anyway. Like, I can't get to the 10 required to deal more damage. Let's just toss this right there. I'll have 10 Vim now. And, lots of, upper, inflict 1 tag. So now I've got that 10 Vim, which is going to make this deal 40 instead of 20. He's at 10, Code Slash. Dunzo. We got him. Alright, so now we have to pick one. Or we can skip. So this is a generator card. 1 clock. 3 cards. Just straight up draw 3 cards. No Vim generation at all. I think this is a good card to get later on. 1 clock is a third of your resources. So I think this is a tricky card in the sense that it tricks people. It is a tricky trickster of a card. Because you go, oh shit, 3 cards. Oh fuck, that's so good. But, you know, yes and no. I think 1 clock is a lot to spend on something that's, that you don't immediately know what it's gonna do. This one, I generally like this card. it's, you know, it's interesting. Also, it's probably a later card, but maybe not. 0 clock to play, so it's free. Only 5 damage though. And then you gain 4 feral. And then at the beginning of your next turn, you lose 4 feral. So you get a temporary damage increase to anything else that you play, which is very nice. I like that. Cyberhide, I also really like this one. 1 clock, 30 buffer, so that's already better than your standard one. Same amount of Vin generation as your standard one, but you gain 1 feral, so that's going to help you boost your damage up a little bit over time. I'm going to go with the Howl for right now, though. Actually, let's go with the Cyberhide. Go with the Cyberhide. Alright, done. Now, killing him. Alright, so we got Shard, we got Hash Key. Now, defeating that Sentinel met the requirements for that gate. We can unlock it. That's going to reveal this cluster. 6 nodes. We got 3 enemies in there. With a setup node. We have a setup node right here. So, it's important to remember, like, you do have a position on the grid. You can see, like, this outline node right here. That's, like, where I am. But you can go to any node that you have access to, right? So I can leave this for now, and I could be all the way over here, and I'll just be like, oh, you know what? Let's go back and grab that. So that's good to remember because there is, you know, limited space for items, although they do stack. So if you get 2 setup deployers, that's only actually taking up 1 slot. And I think there's only 3 items right now. So, you know, inventory management is, you know, almost non-existent, but something to keep in mind for the future, perhaps. Library, let's go ahead and let's... Oh yeah, so for the library one, because now I have a hash key, I could spend that to get double shards, which is nice, but I won't do it. Let's go ahead. Let's spend the hash key to... Actually, what's this one? Oh, this is the worst. So let's hover over this cluster, right? The background changes so you can see what's actually in this cluster. And now we've got an Omni Watcher. So if you see on the right hand side, every time you use a node in this cluster, +1 trace. I think this is a bit much. Or maybe it just needs to be placed further away from the beginning cluster. Maybe that's the solution. Because this is very punishing. You can't do a single thing in this cluster without getting a trace. Now you've got 3 free traces, but because some of the enemies have just insane abilities where like they're taking at you tons of damage in some cases, and they're putting a lot of statuses on you, I am very conservative when it comes to using up these free trace spots. I don't do it. So that's a little discouraging, but if I use this setup node, then I can unlock this gate and I can see what's going on here. Do I want to get shards, or do I want to spend the hash key? I really like setup deployers, but I want to get rid of the Omni Watcher as soon as I can, and that requires an item that costs 2 hash keys. So I'll just take some shards. We'll unlock this, and we'll see what we got. Oh, we got 3 enemies. Extraction Watcher. Okay. Extraction Watcher is not too bad. You can still exploit or rehash. Render, yeah. So this guy, the render node, you can exploit it for 2 hash keys, which is nice. Or, if you spend 2 hash keys, you can get an Icebreaker. Icebreaker will let you basically kill anything on the map that you want. You can break a Watcher, so I can use it in this cluster, and it'll get rid of the Watcher entirely. So then I can just do whatever I want here, no repercussions. Very, very powerful. So I think that's the plan. I could also... So it's gonna be one hash key when I get through that enemy, another hash key when I get through there, and that will let me buy the icebreaker. So I could use this hash key to break through here and see what's in that cluster too. So let's go ahead and let's see what's going on up there, and then we'll see where I want to approach. Ooh. Okay. 3 enemies. We've got a setup. It'll give me a little bit higher attack in this cluster, and there's 3 enemies. And we're going towards a source node, which is basically like a shop kind of. So you can buy an icebreaker there also, but it's 600 shards. Buy a glitch, which is 450, a common or an uncommon one. There's a different node later on that will give you an option for a rare glitch. Or you can get a card. My main issue with this is the card, you pay for it, and then you get an option of 3 choices, like a combat reward screen. And sometimes I'm just like, ooh, like that feels really bad to pay to pick a card, and then like, what if you don't want it? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever actually skipped one of those, so maybe there's a chance that it doesn't actually take the shards if you skip, but it still uses up the node. That would be ideal. I just don't think I've done it before. So let's go ahead and exploit the setup node to give me an attack bonus in this cluster. And then I can actually, because you see the circuits here, I can actually just go straight to this guy and skip fighting that guy if I want to, and I think I'll do that. Oh, I didn't even notice. So this cluster has a combat watcher though, which is just brutal. Interesting. So I could take this one out, and that still gives me a path to the source node, but I won't have enough shards early for a source node yet. So I'm not sure what I want to do. I guess we'll just go over here, do this library guy. We'll take him out and grab an icebreaker from that shard. So we got the same passive. So anytime this guy gets damage through to you, you just get weak for a turn, which is like pretty punishing early on, I think. I mean, not too punishing. It's not over the limits, but it's probably something that should be not, the first enemy you fight, right? One of the things in the roadmap was like procedurally generating the maps. I didn't read through that specific little notes on that one, what that meant, but I assume that means take into account node positioning in relation to other nodes are the same or different types, or just being smarter about where they're placing them, and maybe doing certain nodes further away from the starting cluster and different enemy types further away versus closer and stuff like that. We'll see. So he's not gonna attack next turn, so let's go ahead and let's just gunk this guy's guts. Just gunk him up. We're gonna just jam him to high hell. So now he's gonna deal 35 damage. So 35 damage, and these cost more for me to play. So let's go ahead and let's do this one for 30 feral. Or 30 shell and 1 feral, so I got 1 feral here. It's an extra 5% damage until end of combat. So when I shuffle through my deck again, and I play the cyber shell again, cyber hide, that will increase the feral again. We've got 6 Vim. Could draw a card. There's only 1 card in the deck right now, so if I draw a card, I would draw a Code Slash. I mean, I could play this. I mean, I don't have enough to play another shell card, so we'll do that, and then we will play this, so this guy's free. Deal some damage. And I'll end the turn. So I did get debilitated because I took 5 damage. I like that there's kind of, you know, it's the incoming subroutines, like the attacks the enemies are doing, are kind of like, you know, like they're situated like, you know, like code in some cases where it's like, if, you know, it's like attack, if subroutine 1 dealt damage, then this, else this. It's like super cool. I wish that was kind of played out a bit more. Like, I would love to get to a point where, like, you're deep in a run and you come across against, like, a souped up enemy, and you're looking at their subroutine and you're, like, trying to figure out, like, what the hell is gonna happen? You know, and there's, like, more than just 1 or 2 choices, but it's like you can, like, really manipulate them. You know, I think there's so much potential here, and I feel like the team, you know, has it in them. So he's not attacking. Let's see. 7. Let's just throw everything we got. Let's try and work up to an energize, and next turn energize and just pound him to death. I mean, he's at 53, so I don't exactly need to pound him to death. I mean, 15. Yeah, I'm dumb. I should have done this. I didn't even see. I didn't even pay attention to what he was doing. Alright. Yeah, sometimes I'm just like, alright, let's do this, and I don't look at everything. I feel like there's a lot to look at sometimes. That's a me problem. Hey. Can't blame anyone for that except myself. So that'll be 30 damage, and it will give me, that'll bring me up to 17. So it's 30 damage and decompile that guy. So when you've got 10 Vim, like this one for example, will give you more buffer, twice the buffer, but decompile, which means it's gone from your deck. It's not gonna be in your discard pile to reshuffle back in. And basically that was what that previous one did. Now let's play Energize, since 17 Vim. It's gonna let me draw 2 cards and it's gonna give me 2 clock, so boom. Play that, get some Vim, even though it doesn't matter, and now I've got the clock to Code Smash. Boom, we got him. Oh, alright. Ooh, this one's good too. It's the same as the other one, except you gain grit instead of feral, so you get the buffer, but then also it's gonna buff your shell cards going forward. This one is pretty nice. I like this one, but let's do Feign Strike. Now I'm almost at the point where I'll change one of my commands. Okay, so if I extract, you can see I'll get a trace. But I can still exploit for free, and I can still rehash if I want to spend one of my keys to gain double the extraction amount. Let's go ahead. Oh yeah. See, it's blinking there because I used that setup node. And I didn't realize what I was in for. So there's no other render nodes. But I mean, I could get the icebreaker here and break that to go through there. But the Omni Watcher is just insane. And what do I have to do to get here? Disabling the Watcher in either adjacent cluster. So to get through there, I'd have to break this Watcher which requires an icebreaker, which is 2 hash keys or 600 shards. And there's only one node that will... Well, no, I can get one from here for shards. Only one that lets me do it for hash keys, though. Alright, let's go ahead and let's just, let's get this guy. I'll get a hash key there, and I'll break the Omni Watcher, and we'll just see how it goes. So he's gonna deal 30 damage total in separate packets. So what this really means is that if he has something to either give him more attack or something that makes me take more damage, that will be applied to each packet. So I've got 20 shield, gonna take 10 damage, can't be stopped. His passive is Stronghold Directive. At the start of each round, this ice gains 10 buffer. So he's always gonna have 10 buffer right up there every single time. Okay, he's not attacking. But even though he's not attacking, I'm probably gonna want to play the shell card, which is fine because I've only got the 2 attacks anyway. So I probably would play 3 attacks if I had him, but playing the shell card, it's gonna give me a feral regardless of whether or not I need the buffer. So that's fantastic. And we'll play the Feint Strike first because that's gonna give me some feral that will affect this. I'll play this next because that will give me... Oh, you know, I should have played that first, right? Because then that feral would have affected the first attack. See? You gotta think these things through. I don't do that. I still have great fun, though. Great fun. The amp code slash. We'll do the unstable thingy. And... that's it. I don't want to draw or anything, so we'll end. That is a lot. Look at all that buffer. All right, back to dealing 30 damage. Let's go ahead and let's. I could play this one, which is 1 card that would give me 40 buffer and decompile, but I've only got 1 attack. Unless I wanted to draw a card and see if I got another attack. But otherwise I just play the 2 lesser shields. So that that guy doesn't decompile. And then I'll be very close to energizing next turn, so hopefully, since he's not going to do any buffer, hopefully next turn I'll just energize if I need to and plow right through him. Just plow through him. We're gonna jack this guy in. 33 damage. Amped code slasher is gonna be 46 and decompile, so this dude's already gone. Done. Y'all just been hacked. Alright. Charged code slash. This is like, I love taking this card. Right? 1 clock, 30 damage, it's fine, you know. And it just gives you 4 mana. It's like, it's just a nice little juicing. Get all greased up and just slide right in there. It's really great. I like it a lot. Now the Cyber Hide, can always go for a nice Cyber Hide. There is a node that will let you remove cards from your deck. By default 1 card, but you can spend hash keys to remove 2 cards. And I can definitely see myself grabbing a second Cyber Hide and then saving up those hash keys to remove 2 regular shells. And Mem Leap, 1 hack, 2 Vim, 30 damage. If you have at least 12 Vim also, it gives you a clock. So if you have 12 Vim, this shit's free. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'll take this one though, even though I really want the charged code slash. Let's go Cyberhide. Let's go Cyberhide. Alright, we get some shards, we get a hash key, let's claim those. Let's go to commands, and we're gonna swap out Scout for Roar. So it's still 4 Vim. Instead of drawing a card, it just gives us 1 Feral. Now the downside of this is that you really feel compelled to do it every single turn. And you usually generate enough Vim so that you can do that. But I'll sometimes find myself overspending, so I'm like Feral, and I never generate a lot of Vim to like hit and energize, or you know, so you kind of have to watch yourself. Disabling the Watcher. Alright, we got a library here. We got a setup node. We got a render. So let's grab the icebreaker. Let's go and do this combat, and then we'll break. Do I do this combat, or do I just go into that other cluster? Defeating all sentinels. Oh, okay. Library, intelligence setup, library. Oh, let's take a look and see if one of these gates is gonna open. Spending 1 hash key. Defeating all sentinels. So, okay. Some of the gates will be opened by defeating the Watcher, breaking the Watcher. So I was wondering if doing the icebreaker here to break that, the Omni Watcher would open a gate, but it won't. So that's still fine. So if we go down here again, we can see the nodes. Haven restores your life. I think that needs to be a bit retuned. I don't think it restores nearly enough for what you get. I think that or I mean, that could be alleviated if they add items that you can get after combat or whatever that you can use to restore integrity, or other ways. Right now the Haven nodes are the only way to restore integrity, and I feel like it's not enough. Anomaly gives you glitches. Depurer gives you lets you remove cards from your deck. Compiler gives you cards and protocols, and the core node is where the final boss is. It's interesting because there's multiple core nodes, and so when you get to a core node, you can choose to fight the boss, or you can choose to extract a bunch of shards or health from it, and then go and look for another core node. So it's a very fascinating game. Just the grid alone, the fact that you've got a non-linear travel experience, that you can go back and forth, you can leave resources on the map and go back to them when you need them. Very different from, you know, any of the heavy hitters of the roguelike genre, right? Because they're all pretty much like, you've got, you know, 3 paths and they branch a little bit, but you're moving forward. You already know what's going to be in each path, so you can look and you can kind of plan it out. You don't know shit about what's going on here. You don't know nothing. It's very exciting, but it's also a little scary sometimes, you know? Sometimes you'll reveal a cluster and it's just like, fuck that. What the hell? Okay. Okay, let me click this. I'll go. So you get break target sentinel, so that's you click a red node and it gets rid of the enemy there. Break target bouncer, which is opening up any gate, or a break target watcher, which you do in a cluster, and will basically nullify the effects of the watcher on that cluster. So this is the one that has the Omni Watcher. I'm just going to click right in there. It's going to shatter it, as you can see, and it's going to say disabled, and remove that text. Now we can go in here, You know, let's actually go to this library that we can extract from without getting traced, and we'll exploit it. Go to this library, we'll exploit it, and then I'll go up to this library that I can do whatever I want with, and I will go extract for 90 shards. That's going to bring me over 300. 300 is what it costs for a card. 450 is a glitch, which is like a passive trinket item, and 600 is for another icebreaker. So from here, we have access to any node that the circuits are touching, so we can go and we can battle this guy to get the library node. We can battle this guy to get the anomaly node, which we can get a very common or uncommon glitch, or we can spend hash keys to get an uncommon or a rare glitch. And because we've got 3 sentinels here, 3 enemies in this cluster, that's going to be 3 hash keys that we can get. I can do intel on this one, extract it for some shards, or I can reveal a connected cluster. So if I were to exploit the intel one, I could have it show me what these nodes are, or what this set of nodes are. And then of course the exploit, or the setup, we can exploit it for a bonus in here. If this was, I mean, I'll take grit. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna start off with 4 grit, which is gonna be a 20% increase into the effectiveness of our shell cards, our defense cards. Berserk passive directive. When this ice integrity reaches 70 or less, it greatly upgrades all subroutines immediately. Okay. See, I hate this. I flat out hate this. Some of these enemies will have these effects like this. Remove all the runner's buffer. There's nothing you can do to stop that. It just happens. So immediately, you're just screwed. This is frustrating, and there's one that will remove all the runner's vim. And it really deflates you. Because those are abilities that the game should give to the player. But, perhaps not allow the enemies to have some sort of resource or tool to defend against. And it would be okay. Because you balance around that. But having those abilities on the enemy and having nothing that the player can do to prevent all of your buffer from going, like some of these have secondary effects, so okay, you get those, but any situation where it's like there's nothing you can do, especially the one that removes your vim. There's some that drain your vim, and it'll either be like drain it by 2 or 4, or it could be all of it, and that's so deflating because it's an aspect of combat that you now just go, okay, well, if that's what this enemy is gonna do to me every turn, or every 2 out of 3 turns or whatever, then like, what's the point, right? Like, that's such a big resource that's just stripped away from you. It's a lot. I don't like it. Let's go ahead and gain 1 feral. Damage. I'll gain another feral. So I've got 2 feral, which is a 10% increase in damage, and 4 grit from the setup node that I exploited. So deal 40 damage. If first subroutine hit, inflict 1 exposed. Boom. If first subroutine didn't hit, self-inflict 2 exposed. Love this. Stuff like this is so fun. And I would say, lean fully into the code stuff and like indent this one, indent these 2, right? And if there's a 4th subroutine that's independent of these, not indent, right? Like, let's go all the way. And like, I want to see like when there's like mini bosses and stuff, or however they end up, like doing like the tiers of enemies. I want there to be like an enemy or 2 that you'll sometimes meet that's like they've got like 10 or 12 lines of subroutines, and you're just like, okay, all right, so if I do this, then I can get him to do this cool thing, or whatever, right? Because some of them, like this one, will self-inflict exposed, which is something that increases the damage they get. There's one that will give you a buff that lets you draw more cards and stuff like that if you're able to like counteract what they're doing, and I think that's really something that needs to be leaned into because it's such a unique and fun thing. Probably very difficult to build around, right? I would assume, but like, what an incredibly unique aspect, right? Alright, this dude's just gaining buffer, and that's it. Very simple. Gain 1 feral. Do I want to gain another feral? And then attack him. I got 5. Or I just want to attack and attack. Let's attack. Let's gain feral. Let's attack again. He's at 4 life. So 64 damage. He's gonna deal 30 damage. Oh, see, look. Remove all the runner's buffer. Well, okay. Like, stuff like that needs to be more of a game. Okay, that would give me a feral at least. Another feral. Let's get some Vim, end turn, I'm going to take damage. Alright, but he's got no buffer, so he is literally just dead. What do we got? Okay, 30 damage, gain 1 indexed. Index means you draw an additional card. All of these stack in duration, not intensity, so if you gain 3 index, that's 3 turns of drawing an additional card. Doesn't mean next turn you draw 3 cards extra. 30 damage, potentially free if you get up there. I like this one a lot. Generally, don't like cards that give you 0 Vim, but this one gives you 4 temp Vim, which is your Vim will go up by 4, but it'll decrease also. So if you don't spend it, it'll give you 4 Vim, and then whatever of that temporary Vim that doesn't get spent goes away. And then you gain 1 indexed. So you draw an extra card next turn. I love this card a lot. I really like it. I mean, I like other cards more, but it's a good one. There is a... Alright, let's get a common or uncommon glitch. I love the design of these like glyphic circuit board looking things. The only thing is I don't like that there's not names or something here. You have to hover over it to see what it says. You don't even have the name of it. Just have the name here so I can see. Ace of Spades. At the start of each combat, inflict 2 exposed. Okay. So you start off each combat with them taking 30 more damage for 2 turns. Sick. Love that. This one is Leather Boots. Start of each combat, gain 2 grit. Ooh, I love that too, man. Like grit and feral. There's such simple mechanics, but I am a sucker for it. A sucker. So that's just flat up 10% better defense cards, which is great. But this one's gonna let me start out strong in the battles, right? So in the first 2 turns, I'm dealing more. That's very tempting. I think this is probably the more interesting one, so let's go ahead and let's just take that one. Reveal a connected cluster. Let's see. Defeating all sentinels. And spending 1 hash sheet. Defeating all sentinels. Let's do that. Start combat. Alright, heat wires. At the end of each round, if this ice lost at least 30 integrity, inflicts 1 exposed. Okay. Deal 45 damage. If this hits, inflict 1 exposed. So, this dude starts off, he's got 2 exposed. So 2 turns, he's taking 30% more damage. oh, this is interesting that this is on one line. Deal 45 damage. If this hits, inflict 1 exposed. The other ones were deal 45 damage. If subroutine 1 hits, then... So, consistency issue, maybe. There might be a legitimate reason for those being portrayed differently. But just a little note there. So we can see 39 damage for the Feigned Strike. So I can do that, and then I can gain 48 buffer. Or do I just want to just slap on 2 more attacks, right? And take it really take advantage of him being exposed. Barrel. He's at 87. So he's already gonna do 1 exposed to me, and then this is gonna hit because I didn't do any defense, so it's gonna be 2 exposed. 45 damage and 2 exposed. Bum 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 bum. Gain 50 buffer, inflict 1 starved. Starved makes it so you don't draw as many cards. I don't like that one. It's not too bad, you know. It's like, it's punishing, but it's not overly punishing. There's one that will take away a clock, so you only have 2 clock for your next turn. That's bullshit. Bullshit. And again, like all like the nitpicky stuff that I have issues with in terms of like enemy power, I think they can have a place in the game, but I think they need to be more conditional when they're inflicted on the player. That's just kind of how it goes. Or at least you need to have more tools of mitigation. So he's not going to attack, but I might want that that barrel from there. So this is going to be 4/10 of Vim, which is a great chance to gain another barrel. Let's go ahead and play this for some more Vim. And I'll play this for barrel, damage, 14, not bad. So 64 to get him. He is not exposed anymore. Luckily, I gained an index, so I drew an extra card which counteracted the starve. 48. If I get up to 10 Vim, there. Which I think I can do. 6, 7, 8. No, that'll give me 10, but it won't be enough to, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I could maybe do it. Ooh, this is tough. Because, right, there's 52 damage, and then if I'm exposed, which I am, so that's already buffed from being exposed, but then it's going to deal another attack because I'm exposed. Let's, code slash. Let's gain a barrel and some of that. Let's gain another of that. So I've got 60. Buffer, he's going to hit me for 52, and then another 26, so I'll take a little bit of damage. However, when I use this command, if it lets me play the hack card for free, I got him. If it doesn't, then I'll have enough buffer to, I think, block all the damage. So, I'm in a good spot. Next turn, he'll be dead no matter what. Okay, there you go. So next for 24. So 84, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're good. I'll also gain a feral for a good measure. Alright, 6 feral. No buffer or anything. Dude's done those. Get out of here. Gain 30 buffer, draw a card. Love it. 30 buffer feral again. I could really double down. Get a lot of feral. This one's kind of cool. I like this one. Next hack you play this turn will generate double Vim. It can be fun. If I had taken that amped code slash before with the 4 Vim, I'd take this. But that's a lot. That's a lot of that is a lot of shell cards though, right? I've got 6. Okay, so that would bring me up to 15 cards. Cyberhide, Cyberhide. Feral or Adonis? Let's go with the Adonis. And then if I get a Depurifier, I'll try and have some hash keys to remove multiple cards. I can get rid of some of the generic old ones. Let's extract. Nearing Icebreaker amounts, although I don't know if I'd want to actually spend it on an Icebreaker. Intelligence, let's just get some more shards. And then let's get rid of this guy. What the heck? At the start of each round, this ice gains 10 buffer. Not bad, not bad. 240. Alright, let's go. Adonis. Yeah, why not? Okay. Feral. Slash. Buffer. Crimson Assault. Okay, so what's he gonna do? 78 damage. I don't want to take 78 damage. Reduce the clock card. Reduce the clock cost of a card in hand by 1 for the rest of combat. Decompile 1 cards from hand. Deal 78 damage. Still take a little bit of damage, but that's better. So 1 card is gonna get lower, and then another one will get decompiled. So do I want to keep 3 cards in there in hopes that, because I think it can reduce a card, but then it could also decompile the same card, and so having more cards in hand at the end of this round would make sense. I think that's how it works. Let's try that. Let's just keep an unspent clock and let's see how this plays out. Okay, that... Oh! Ooh, so that one went to 0. Let's go back here. So this one with the exclamation, decompiled. If it's got the little exclamation, it's not going to be recycled back. So... if I click here, that other one is going to be free for the rest of the combat, so that's good. That's really nice. Exposed, debilitated, 50 buff. Let's not roar. Let's build up to something. Okay. Let's Adonis. 39 damage. Deal 20 damage per decompiled card in the recycler. So only one card in there right now, but obviously that could add up pretty quickly. So we'll Adonis for 36 buffer. and replace itself. 24. So I'll still take a little bit, but it's not too bad. Fang strike. Do I want to do another? No. He's got buffer. I'll just let him be. We're at 9 Vim, moving towards an energize. Now the temp Vim can't trigger conditionals. So this one, 26 damage, or if you have 10 Vim at least, 10 Vim or more, 52 and decompile itself. So one, it decompiling itself would increase the damage that that one attack does, which is a concern, but not too bad. You know, when you're dealing 52, you're gonna swipe away a third of its life. That's a fine trade-off, I think. But if I do the temp Vim, that won't trigger it. I would have to do a card that's gonna got actual Vim to get play. So let's go ahead and I'll do this one to get a feral. That's going to see how this kind of it went from like a gray color to like now it's like the neon let's go color. You can see I like that little indicator a lot. So let's do 54. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Alright, let's do this. Let's gain 13 Vim. Got some more buffer that doesn't matter too much. I'll do Crimson Assault. 41 damage. And that's going to put me at just enough Vim to energize. Okay, well, not the best. Not the best. We've got a Code Slash we can do. Let's Adonis ad blocker and see what we draw. Okay, well. Code Slash, and then I guess we just roar. And you can go, your turn. I'll get you next time. Get you next time. 60 life. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 60 buffer. 60 buffer. So 94. Darn. Alright, well, 36. We got 52 here to deal with. Alright, I'll get you next turn. 84. No, I'll take a handful of damage. That's fine. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? 310 still. Boop. Boop. Got him. If you did at least 2 commands, 80 damage. 30 damage and a debilitate. Nice. Schaefer blood sample. I don't know if I've seen this before. Double your Vim. Draw 1 cards. Gain 1 indexed. Decompile. Double your Vim. I'm kind of feeling that. You know what? Let's give that a shot. That's gonna... Ooh. 69 shards. 1 hash key. Let's claim that bitch. Open that up. Open that up. What do we got? What do we got? Compiler. Haven. Intel. Setup. Compiler. Card. Or a protocol card. 2 hash keys for a protocol, but if I take him out, I'll have 4. So, exploit watcher, not too bad. Let's get another 90 shards. Getting up there in shards. And then I'll have 4 hash keys after this guy, so I'll just get a protocol. I feel comfortable with that. Comfortable. 50 buffer. Restore 20 integrity. Fuck off. Disarm directive. At the end of each round, this ice inflicts 1 starve. Each round? I'm just playing this combat. Drawing 1 fewer card. That's fucked up. Alright, but he's exposed. And I do have 3 attacks. And he's not swinging at me, so... Boom, boom, boom. We're getting a feral, let's go. Let's go, 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 go. 45 damage. Feral. Assault. Wish I had some more Vim. I wish I hadn't roared last turn now that I think about it. Let's go ahead and just play both, I guess. $52 damage. Oh, I think this is new. Is the color coding here new? Blue, red. What is that? Like orange, blue, red, orange. Like the color coding, is that new? I feel like, because this was always, I think, the colors. But I think that's new. Maybe? I think the passives have been made more clear too. I think this was like a little thing here that you hovered over. It was like one of these, but it just said like PSV or something. I'd have to go back and look at a recording, but I'm pretty sure that's different now. I like it, yeah. I've always loved how, like, this game just has really great tooltips all over the place. If you don't know what something is, you just hover over it. It's great. 52 damage. Let's, boom, boom, feral. Let's, attack. Do that one. Let's just leave these alone. See if we can just get energized and wait around until he's gonna be kind of relevant to get. Boom. This will pop me up straight to 16 Vim. So you know what? I think we're gonna... Oh, I've only got 2 clock. It's fucked up. 18 Vim. Fuck it, let's go. 18 Vim. Let's energize this bitch. I've got 2 clock. This will give me 4 temp Vim. Let's roar. 43. Nope. But I mean, he's at 17. 50 buffer, but I think with my feral and stuff, I think I can probably get through that. Especially because at 3 Vim, I can easily work up to an optimize if I need to. Although, yeah, not enough attack cards. So let's just feral. No point in even swinging, really. 40 damage. I mean, I'll get more Vim if I play an attack. 40 damage only, so I've already got enough buffer, so let's just do that. Alright, let's gain some temp vim. 15, alright. Done! We got him. There we go. Oh, I love this card. Recursive Dream. I adore it. When played, generate 1 extra Vim and add it to the Vim value of this card for the remainder of combat. You can, get it to, 6, 7, 8 Vim in long battles. So when it comes back up in your deck, you're just like, boom. It's just like so nice. But this is the card. This is it right here. 50 damage. So 2 clock, which kind of pricey. 2 Vim, not the best, but 50 damage is, it's decent. Feral affects this card 3 times. This is the boom. This is so good. There's also a card called We Own These Streets. Is that what it's called? Something like that, I think. That's basically like the grit equivalent. It's a shell card that actually, is that the one? Or is that the one that's just like 100 shell and I don't remember. But yeah, there's one that's a shell card that basically does the same thing. So we got max hash keys. So we pretty much have to use them for something now. And I think grabbing a protocol card is going to be great. Our first protocol card of the run. Greed Moon Pingu. Alright. Every time you play a card, if you have max Vim, deal 15 damage. That's interesting. Does Feral apply to that? It probably does. Or at the start of your turn, gain 3 Feral. Oh, Moon Protocol. First card you play each turn generates double Vim. I love that too. I love this, but we gotta go with Moon Protocol. We are stray dogging it up. Intel. Extract. Yeah, let's get some shards. So the Haven, our first Haven, we can extract it for shards. We can exploit it for 75 integrity, which in this case, because of the Watcher and that cluster, is going to trigger a trace. I've, gone through 4 or 5 clusters now. I'm okay getting a trace or 2 at this point. Or if we spend 2 hash keys, we get 175 integrity. This needs to be buffed. I think 175 is too low. I don't know what the value is, but I don't know. I feel like there's way too few ways to really manipulate your life. I don't know if the solution is, but I often just feel like any damage feels so permanent, and I think that's something that probably has to change. I don't know what that looks like though. Okay, so to go down here, we have to pay. Which we could. We got dose. And when we unlock the Haven from the combat, we'll get another hash key anyway. This one, using all nodes in either adjacent cluster, so that one would be free. We beat him, and then we just extract from the setup one here. So we got a lot of options. Let's go ahead and let's just extract that, and then we will do the combat there, and we'll restore some integrity. Oh, this is gonna be a bitch. Drain 4 Vim. Okay. Any Vams being drained this turn inflict 2 exposed. Virtual interference. Runner can only activate 2 commands each turn. That's fine. I very rarely will do. I don't even often do 2 commands, so that's fine. So, I don't know. I never know how to really play these. Usually, I'll limit the amount of cards I play so that I can activate a command so that I have 0 Vam. I feel like that's probably just not the best way to go about it, though. So the Ace of Spades up here, we've got the glitches in the upper left-hand corner. Ace of Spades, let's hover over at the start of each combat, inflict 2 exposed. And then somewhere we'll have the Moon Protocol. I'm excited. So I won't play any of these, because I'm at 4 Vam, so I can just roar, gain a feral. And that means he's got nothing to drain, so he won't inflict exposed, which really wouldn't be too big of an issue right now. He's not even attacking next turn, but it's 2 turns of exposed, so there will be a chance he will be attacking next turn likely. So 60 damage, right? Charge a powerful attack for next turn. Not a fan. But he's not going to be draining anything, so. I should have used 2 shell cards. I don't know why I did that. Oh, well, I know why I did that. I did that because I want to take advantage of the exposed, but. See, like, even going in, even knowing that I can rehash a Haven node right after this, I feel like that's just not enough. I don't know. I don't know. Let's not feral. I feel like I need an early energize for this motherfucker. Drain all Vim. I hate it. 10 damage per Vim drain this combat. It doesn't. I think that's 0 damage, but it doesn't actually display the 0. Okay, let's think. So I need to be at 0 Vim, ideally. Oh, fuck. I didn't even see I had this motherfucker. 7, 8, 9. Okay, he'll drain me a little bit, but that's fine. I'll do one of... Oh, actually, maybe not. Oh, yeah. If it was this one, then I'd play it, and I'd have 4, and then I could roar. So now do I play it and get the feral? Well, yeah, because it'll do 30 damage to me, 10 per... It's gonna drain 3, it'll do 30 damage. Yeah, so that's fine. There you go. Now I've got 6 feral. Now Pack Hunt is dealing a whopping 95 damage. So how do I want to go about this? Drain 4 Vam. Any Vam has been drained this turn, inflict 2 debilitated, deal 50 damage. So I need to take care of the 50 damage. And Pack Hunt costs 2. So I can't easily play that if I want to block all the damage. Let's do this one. Now it's at 103. I'll take 20 damage. Yeah, let's just do it. Boom, 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 boom. He's at 113. Got 74, looks like. But he's not gonna attack me, he's just gonna expose me. thinking, because I might want to Adonis just to get through my deck faster. I don't know. Actually, well, yeah, I feel like the options are kind of slim because I'm not going to be able to really... He's going to drain the Vim anyway, so like, if I were to draw this one for the 44, it doesn't matter too much. Like nothing really, I don't think anything really matters, so let's just do that one, gain more feral. 60 buffer. He's at 97 to kill. Can't do it. Drain 4 Vim, debilitated 65. Like I just can't generate enough. That's also because I've focused way more on feral and I've got nothing to generate grit, which is probably not good. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. We got him. Own the streets. Yeah, grit affects this card 3 times. So good. I really like Hoplite too. It's a hack that gives you some buffer. But even if I don't have grit generation now, I might in the future, and a 60 buffer for 1 card, love it. 85 and a hash key. Okay. I could go back there and grab a setup deployer, which depending on what this opens up, I might want to do that. I've got 1,000 shards. I've never had this many shards. Never. But I think by this point, normally I would have had more access to our source node, so it's kind of an odd run, I think. Let's restore 170. Put me at 375 integrity right now. Let's open this gate. And we got 3 nodes only, and it's a dead end. We got just 1 gate. Using all nodes in either cluster. Okay. So if we extract it, we're gonna get a trace. I don't have enough to do another 175, but I could get free 75, which would put me at 450, which is pretty good. I don't want to deal that. I don't think I want to do that right now, though. Jeez, I don't really have a. I don't know if I really. I feel like I got so many shards. What was down here? Extraction Watcher. So I can go and get the setup deployer, which I would like. This node. Disabling the Watcher in either one. I don't have a way to disable the Watcher. But, man. What to do? I mean, I could go take out the Library Sentinel, get a trace, and then go to the source. I mean, that... Can you get 2 things? I don't remember if you can get... I mean, I don't think you can. I think you just get 1 option. Because I'd love to get an Icebreaker and a Glitch. But I don't think you can do that. That's actually... How can I open this guy? Hash key or brute force? Maybe I just brute force this and see what's up there. You know what? Let's or do I just pay? Because I don't have anything else for the hash keys right now. Like, I don't need the Haven for the 175 health right now. I mean, I could after a combat or 2, though. Let's... Well, see, this is 4 nodes, probably. Maybe 5. Maybe it goes right here. This is going to be 4... I mean, this is actually probably... That's the biggest cluster it looks like. This is gonna give me some grit, right? Oh, feral, okay. Let's go to the library. Let's, beat this dude, and we'll go to the source and get, an icebreaker. Hollow bullets. Every time this ice deals damage, it inflicts 1 exposed. So this dude might have attacks that are multiple packets of damage. So instead of 50 damage, he might have, you know, 15, 15, 15. And that would mean that each one of those subroutines that hits is going to deal stack the exposed on me, which is fucked up. Charge a powerful attack for next turn. Alright, let's go Cyber Hide, Flame Strike. We'll do some amps. Cyber Shell will put me at 50. That's going to block all of that. Won't end. Charging. 24, 24, 24, 24. Fucking rock. 60? 90? Man, 1 Vim away from getting a free card. Free play. Huh? Alright, I'll take 10, I guess. Oh, 10 and 1 exposed. Which means that I take more damage. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna take 45 damage. I don't have any crows to block it. I think Moon Protocol is a move for a longer battle than I want to occur, so we'll pack hunt. Code Slash. Oh, so close from being able to play another Code Slash, but yeah, he's looking pretty beat up. Oh, look at that. We got the Swift Reshuffle right there. We got Moon Protocol right there. Oh, that's so nice. 65 though. I don't want to take 65. Also don't want to take 45. I'd like to take 5 damage. But also, now I feel like I want to play Moon Protocol. But he's not doing any buffers. There's no buffer for next turn, so let's just protect my neck, so to speak. I'll... Ooh. Do I do my 7 Vim command and just do another attack this turn? Or do I wait and see if, I think I'll wait and see, because I might be able to do an Energize next turn, depending on what I draw, so let's just go with that. Let's just, hope that next turn is, this turn is his last. 10, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think I can get Energized, right? 3. So 9, 10, 11, 12. He's at 52. 13. Boom, he's at 32. I'm at 17 with the temp Vim. I can energize. Minimum, I've got a Code Slash already. Oh. Got him. Oh. Oh. $35 for a 4 temp Vim. 40 damage. If you have at least 12 Vim, 2 debilitated, 2 exposed. Ooh. Or another Feign Strike, which is nice, but I Hmm. The thing with the Feint Strike is like it builds up over time, right? Because the feral, that's how it works. You know, it's little by little you build that up. Um, I also like this though with the temp vim. It's nice. Um, let's go with that. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, so we'll get an icebreaker again, and yeah, node's gone. So we just got one thing to buy. Let's just get 90 shards. Int and library nodes aren't that appealing right now. This one is brute force. Do I want to go just get the haven and then because now I can do the haven. That'll put me at almost max life. And then from there I'll go in brute force. Oh, actually I really want the depurifier node. Oh, but that's 2 hash keys to remove 2 cards, and I want to remove 2 cards, so also I'll wait on the haven node. And I'll see how well this combat goes. And if the combat goes well, then I'll spend my hash keys on removing 2 cards. And I'll remove basic attacks probably. Or maybe 1 basic attack, 1 basic shell. $20 damage, 20 damage. I don't think I'm gonna do. I think we're going to do that guy. And I'll do a feral unstable charge to get some more vim, and let's 75 pack hunt this bro. And I'll just take the 40. And yeah, and especially because like it says 75 there, but you can see it did more damage, and that is because he's exposed. 49 damage. Boom. Oh, interesting. Damage. Alright, Adonis, Cyberhide. 28 and 28. It's Adonis. Alright. Cyberhide. Yeah, I am slowed. This is the clock one. I mean, I could do a random 1-cost card, but I don't think I care. Every time this ice deals damage, it upgrades all offensive subroutines. Jesus. Alright. Protection. Oh my god. Ah! I am constantly torn between Moon Protocol and another 2 clock card. I mean, we gotta do that. We gotta do that. I'm still gonna be taking damage. Do I want to do a random card? I don't think so. I don't even want to do Dane Farrell. Okay, Schaefer blood sample. Ooh, that's so enticing. Okay, he's gonna deal 50 damage, but I can deal with that. I'm going to energize the heck out of me. Alright. If I gain a feral first, that's going to be 14 when I do that. Yeah, I think I have to do this now. So let's do this. And give me max Vim. Let's energize. I've got 4 o'clock now. I am aching to pack hunt. Get some more Vim. Let's settle. Cyberhide. And that's 30. I can do another shell and still have 2 left. Let's pack hunt for 95. And he's gonna be just under 100 now. I'm gonna take nothing. Okay, 28, 28, 40 buffer. He's at 99. Temp Vim, Feral. I got 2 cards in my repo. It's okay. Is there a way I can draw a card and hope I get Amped Code Slash and play that at 10 Vim? I got Temp Vim here, but Temp Vim won't trigger the conditionals on cards. Temp Vim is only for playing commands. So maybe not. Hmm. 28, 28. 30, 50. Okay, let's do that. Let's see. Okay. That's good because that's going to give me the 60 to cover the damage at least. Then let's hope that I get Crimson Assault. I mean, or Faint Strike would be okay, but I want the Index mainly. No? Well, alright. Okay then. There we go. Problem solved. Alright. So he's gonna hit me for 100. Gonna have to own this town again. Then let's end turn. Okay, 2, 4, 6. I'll still take some, but what are you gonna do? You win some, you lose some. You got no one to hold him. No fate but what you make. It's just a tough world out there. Got him. I need some grit generation. Give me some grit generation. 30 buff for the next card you play generates double Vim. Discard 3 cards. Right, 5 temp Vim per card discarded. I like that. Discarded 3 cards, gain 1 indexed. 30 buffer, inflict 1 debilitated. I don't really like any of them. I mean, I like this one the best, but I wish I'm really regretting not taking a card that gives me some grit, you know. Because this isn't going to do anything for me right now. I'm not feeling any. Oh boy. Oh boy. Use all nodes. Okay. How many cards are in my deck? 20 cards. I want to remove 2. I also want 175 integrity back. Alright, let's rehash that. Do I just remove 1 and unlock the gate? Do I just remove 1 and unlock the gate? Let's just remove 1. And we will remove 9 hack, 8 shells. I've got 4 basic attacks. I assume 4 basic buffers. 3 basic buffers. Okay. Let's take out a basic shell. Okay. Alright, what are we looking into? What are we looking at? Holy! Oh, we got the core node right here. And this watcher is an Omni Watcher! That is a, icebreaker time. So the anomaly... Alright, let's break that watcher. So brute force or pay. This one is brute force or icebreaker. We got 657 shards still, dude. It's insane. Guess we'll extract that for 100 shards. We got the source node. That's another icebreaker if I want it. Or another glitch. A glitch would be good, but icebreaker is almost always a good pick. Now the render node, I can also get an icebreaker, but that costs 2 hash keys. And right now I'm looking at hash keys here for a rare glitch, and hash key back here for the setup, because I can use the setup to boost my, I can do it on the core node to give me an advantage there in the fight. So, and another depurifier. So I've got a lot of stuff I want to spend hash ins on. That's another icebreaker right there. Alright, let's power through some combats as quickly as we can. Every time the runner draws a card, this ice gains 5 buffer. I mean, it's 5 buffer, so it's not that bad. But, like, I can see some decks where it's, like, annoying, right? Not frustrating, but annoying. Oh, 1 shutdown. Shutdown means you can't do any of the commands. I think that's a powerful one. However, a first turn moon protocol is probably really good. It's unfortunate that I'm not going to be able to attack him to take advantage of this turn's exposed, but next turn, like I could hit him for 1, but I want to mitigate some damage. So I'll still be taking 40, but so shutdown, so no commands this turn. Right, but we've got some feral already. He's not going to attack me, so that's very good. So let's Feint Strike to get that feral up, and that will give me a little bit of a boost to pack hunt. 21 damage. Jesus Christ. 30, 40, 50, 70. Inflict 2 jammed. Which one's jammed? Generator cards. 1 extra clock. Okay. If first subroutine didn't hit, runner gains 2 index. Like, stuff like this is so fun. You know, because you can design enemies where they can be punishing if you aren't able to handle them. But if you are able to handle them, or you can even like split it up where like if half the damage goes through buffer, then there's some like little bonus, you know. And it really makes you think about the attack versus defense benefits, you know, in a way that's a little bit more advanced, I think, than the typical roguelike. Oh, 78. Jesus Christ. I mean, I can't pack hunt, right? I have to own the streets. Okay. Code flash. Do I gain a feral? So no buffer or anything for next turn, so maybe I'll hold on and see if I can, how high I can get up to. Van wise and just see if I can unleash on him. Oh, 70. Jesus Christ. I mean, I think it's my fault for not doing any grit this time. Normally there's a little bit of each at least, but 72, 50. So I want a feign strike, but also I don't want to take that much damage. But also, fuck it. Feign strike, amped code slash, recompile, or extra damage, 126, end turn. Next turn I'll be able to energize, I'm sure, and 1, 2, 3, 4. I cannot energize. Oh, actually I could because of the temp vim. So deal 60 damage. Okay. 91. Energize. 40. Oh, motherfucker. Draw 1 card. Okay. Hand strike. That's fine. Got him. Done. Battle Optimizer. I love this card. It's 3 o'clock. You can only play this on your turn. You can't do shit else, right? You get 4 Vim, 3 exposed, 3 debilitated, 2 indexed. Now, obviously, there are ways that you can use this and other cards on the same turn. With, you know, obviously Energize or the random 1-cost card. You know, there's ways around it, of course, and then like just 0 clock cost cards and things like that, whatever. But it's just like it feels really nice to play. But I'm going to fuck myself over and take another pack. This I've never had this many shards. This is quite a lot. Alright, let's get a glitch. I don't want to spend the hash keys on this, unfortunately. I would rather spend them on what's that called? Depurer, I think. But I mean, am I gonna? I could fight him and just exploit him because I won't need to use the hash keys for an icebreaker because I'm gonna buy an icebreaker right now. In there. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just get a glitch. Actually, it's getting very late, and I work very early in the morning. Ooh, start of each combat gain 2 grit. Love to see it. Inflict 2 debilitated. Start of each combat. I like that, but we'll do the grit. Kind of the same as the other choice I had, right? Let me just grab this setup deployer, and I'll just go straight to the core node because I have to go to bed. Boom, boom. Now, setup deployer. Do we go grit or feral? Because I got a lot of feral generation. Maybe it'd be nice to have some grit. Let's go grit. Right there on the core node. And then I'll click it, and we can extract 400 shards. We can exploit for 350 integrity, or we can breach it. I don't know how many core nodes there are always, but seems to be 2 or 3 on each map. So I could just exploit it, go back up to full health, or maybe just get a shit ton of shards if there was like another source node somewhere I wanted to use, but let's just breach it and let's see what happens. I'm not gonna win, probably. I absolutely hate this motherfucker. The first time the runner plays 3 Judicator's Gaze each turn, this ice inflicts 1 muzzle. Muzzle makes your hack cards cost 1 more clock, which is a lot. So, he is going to shuffle 1 Judicator's Gaze into my deck. He's going to gain 80 buffer. He's going to upgrade all offensive subroutines. The Judicator's Gaze is free to play, deals 15 damage to me, and then decompiles. If I don't play it, then I get fucked. And it just fills up your deck really, really, really fast. So he's not going to directly attack me. So let's gain that index. We'll feral, pack hunt, there, go. Okay, 36 damage, that's not too bad. Moon Protocol, early on, I think that's going to be great. Well, Cyber Hide will give me another feral, and it's going to be enough buffer for the damage it's going to deal. 3 Judicator's Gaze into my deck. 3. It's insane. Okay. So right now it's going to deal 30 damage per non-decompiled Judicator's Gaze in my deck, hand, and Recycler. 120 damage. So, you know what we gotta do? We got to own the streets for 114. That small bit of grit freaking helps so much with that card. And then we'll Cyber Hide for some feral and some more blocking there. We'll end and hope that soon enough we can energize on a turn where he doesn't have a lot of buffer. And just hope we can wear him down. Judicator's Gaze, 15 damage decompile, 15 damage to me, free to play. If I don't play it, then it's gonna increase and upgrade that attack, which is not good. I don't have. I don't have any buffer, and I would rather play these with buffer. But let's go ahead and let's just do this. And of course I draw one of those, and then we'll energize. Oh my god, nothing. So 60 damage if I get rid of all of them. But otherwise it's gonna be 30 per next time that attack comes up. Freaking heck. Oh. Oh my god. 80 buffer. 42 damage. If this hits, shuffle 2 Judicators of Gaze. Insane. Insane. And of course, I am muzzled, so all of my attacks are super expensive. It is my fault for not nurturing my shells as much as my hacks. I probably should have gotten a couple more grit generating things and stuff like that, but you know, it's fine. What are you gonna do? I don't have anything. I could block 26 damage. I mean, I'm gonna 4, 8, 12. Like, it's, you know, a lot of my life. I guess I could block a little bit of it. And then do that. 42 damage. Crimson. 288 damage. Yeah, I'm done. Like, I could play these to lower it a bit, but 36 damage per. I mean, I would go down to, like, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. There you go. Done. Look at you, hacker. Upcoming features: 5 characters and campaigns, narrative events, progression and unlockables, new node types, in-run missions, more content. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Alright. That was fun. Now that I've got my Steam Deck and stuff all hooked up again, I can't wait to play a lot more of this game. And I'm very, very excited that they put out a roadmap. I'm very, very excited for what is going to come from this game. I love it. Alright. Thank you. Good night. Sleep tight. Put a glass of water out next to your bed. Also put a Mountain Dew there or a beer if you want. Just right in the morning, you can just really let her rip. Alright. Adios.